Hello everyone, my name is Nunu and today we're back with F1 2018 Grand Prix for the Australian Grand Prix first race in Season 5. I hope you enjoyed the little introduction. We're here back with Mercedes-AMG finally after rounding off the last season with Williams. As you saw in the shakedown video, we have a couple of driver changes, a couple of new liveries which we will also be talking about this video. If you haven't seen the video, make sure to check it out. It's just 3 minutes long, so it's not really too bad. In the performance charges, we had the huge 3-department reset change. You can see it's actually gone more back to how the real-life grid is. Your Red Bull Ferrari, who's superior, you can see this scale expands from 400 to 1000 in terms of performance. In terms, you have Williams at the bottom, down at 500, and Red Bull and Ferrari around 850, which is a huge grab, and which also means that it will be very, very hard for us to catch up, because we have 150 that we kind of need to catch up. We're at the top of the midfield in the Mercedes, which is also, that's, you know, it's a good place. We're third best, but I hope we can improve over season and become competitive, at least the front of the field. But I mean, who knows? Here's a closer look. You can see it's returned pretty much to how it is in real life. You have the top 3 teams, which are top 3 as well. And then you have like the rest of the midfield team, which is the rest of the midfield. But they had one failed ultimate upgrade. You can see the tree. The tree is so small. We used a lot of time developing this, and you can see it's just gone back to being really small now. There's not a lot of upgrades on it, but we saved, of course, the biggest of them, and hopefully, I don't know how much saving Mercedes. So we're going to be developing one thing for now. As we're about to get into qualifying here for the Australian Grand Prix, going out of the Mercedes, at this point, okay, it's excuse time now. At this point, I've just been on skiing holiday, so I hadn't driven for around 1.5 weeks' time. So I was very, very rotten, I have to be honest. In practice, it wasn't going very well. I completed all the practice programs, but it took me an hour or so, or 1.5 hours around there, just to begin to get the pace down again. But eventually it went well now. You can see we're in 20th place at the moment. First lap we go up to 12th place. Decided to continue on to another lap. Of course, it's qualifying, first qualifying of the season, so it's now that we really see where the pace of the car stacks up against other people. We're improving by a couple of tenths time at this moment as we're going through the middle chicane. You see, we touch the grass right there, and we just throw it on to the gravel, touch the grass in between the 2 apexes, and just lost it and threw it on to the gravel right there. It's a sad mistake, but we were a couple of tenths up, but I mean, I hope we'll make it through. But just for safety reasons, we'll go out for another lap. You see, already improving through turn 1. Not too bad, not gonna lie. But coming through the chicane, we're 3 tenths up and improve it. So now we're 5 tenths up. So that means hopefully we can keep this one through to the end, which we can. We're quite a bit up at the end. I can't really see how much. It's like 6 tenths. And we go up to 5th place by the end of this session, so that's very, very positive. We know that the car has pace now to challenge. I don't think we've been in a Q2 since round 16 in Russia or something like that, which I don't remember if we won Q2 there. But Hamilton down in 11th place, actually making it through on the super soft tires, which is a bit of a surprise. Maybe testing out some of those for now. So we're faster than Latifi, but he was on the super soft tires. Time for Q2. You can go past the dark red Sauber there. That one looked kind of awesome, not gonna lie. Also, if you notice, we don't have the awesome HUD with us, but it's because with driver changes, it doesn't really work, to be honest. It's like, for example, now we have Kimi Räikkönen in Sauber, but that's Charles Leclerc on the menu, because he's still Charles Leclerc in the game, and the mod doesn't change the menu. So I hope you'll do with this, or you can comment down below if you want it just to be weird, if you just want it to be like that. Anyway, Pierre Gasly fastest in Q2, Lewis Hamilton in 4th place, we're down in 8th place, making it through on the ultra soft tires. Time for Q3. It's a long time ago since we've been at Q3. I mean, Not gonna lie. So now we know that the car has pace. Of course, we're at the top of the midfield if we looked at it on paper, but it's not always that one's completely honest. But Q3, it's time for the top 10 shootouts. Time to see. We're stocking in when we're in the top 10 pacing. With 2 minutes left, we're coming to the last corner. We go out of the last corner. The time is ticking down for us to get a good lap time in. Over the line we go now. And we're 4th place. Only 8 tenths off. Which I say only because if you saw how huge the performance gap was, it's pretty good. Boy, oh shit. Beautiful. So we're supposed to go on to another lap, but I managed to spin it around. So lucky for us, there's no more qualifying laps because these times are done, and I don't think we can make it a whole lap in just 1 minute. That would be kind of a wild one. But eventually, starting good, we're starting 5th place, which that is not too bad. Not gonna lie. It's a pretty good place for the start of the season, especially because we haven't driven this car, and I hadn't driven for quite a bit of time. But Pierre Gasly takes pole in his Red Bull Racing, Charles Leclerc and the Ferrari lining up right beside him. Anyways, it's time for the first race of the season, Australian Grand Prix, round 1 out of 21, leading us to the grand final in Abu Dhabi. I'm just stealing my good friend, what is his name, David Croft's words. Anyways, Australian Grand Prix street circuit, very nice track, not gonna lie. It's very nice and calm, not too good for overtaking. Here you can see the map over it if you can see it. 5.3 kilometers of tarmac going around the Albert Park in southern Australia. The hype is starting to kind of feel inside of me. It's time to start a new season, a new era, because we have the regulation changes. Starting grid right here, as I said, Pierre Gasly in his new Red Bull team lines up on pole, Charles Leclerc and the Ferrari right beside him. Then it's like Red Bull Ferrari. Then we're down in 5th place with our fellow Dane in 6th place. Our own teammate down in 9th place of Lewis Hamilton. So pretty decent qualifying, 5th and 9th for Mercedes in comparison to that. It's the first of the season. We are qualifying our own teammate, which is very nice indeed. Anyways, it's beginning to be time for the race. In terms of race strategy, we're just going to be doing the one-stop strategy. It's almost time to go down onto the grid. We're doing the... At the moment, we're doing the ultra soft to the soft, or we're doing the 2-stop. I don't really know. Anyways, it's time to go down onto the grid. We're on the grid, lap number 1 out of 28. It's 5 red lights. And away we go for the Australian Grand Prix first race of the season. It's a good getaway from us. You can see the Ferrari right in front of us still surviving. We're surviving as well, trying to go around the outside, get a bit onto the curb, but eventually we managed to survive the first corner, get very loose onto the curb there as well. That's not a question at all. Anyways, we have one of the it's Magnussen trying to make the move down the inside of us. You can see in front of us we have the Red Bull, the red and black Red Bull and the red Ferrari battling on. We're following up right close to behind, but guys, that's really not a corner to overtake in. Anyways, you can see this settling into the line. We're settling into that as well, and yes, it is me just constantly playing the E tone on the guitar, the E string on the guitar. I was trying to make it a bit high, but it didn't really work, did it? Anyways, settling into the race, half a lap done. There's not really too much to say about it until now. You can see Verstappen, the Red Bulls and the Ferraris have already begun to pull out ahead because they, as you saw, they have much more performance. It's really not a thing to talk about there. Anyways, we have Magnussen, our fellow Dane, behind us, going for the move down the inside. I was actually just saying he was behind threatening us, but apparently he went for the move. I'm sorry, I forgot it. It's a bit weird, isn't it? This episode's a bit weird, I'm sorry. Anyways, Kevin Magnussen now behind us, ready to make a move. It's Stain versus Stain. Pierre Gasly still leading the race out in the front of the field in his fast as Red Bull. Lap number 1 done. DRS is in 1 lap, which we'll need to take care of. See, we get very loose right there. I have to be honest, the rears are much more slider than it was in qualifying. I can feel it. I can feel it quite a bit because they're much less grippy. You can say. I don't know if it's because of the fuel, or whether it's because of just generally. Anyways, we have 3 new liveries. If you didn't, we haven't seen them out on track. We've only seen pictures of him in the shakedown video. Here we have the Red Bull, very, very mean look with the red and black. The official testing livery for the 2019 season, or the one they came up with. Well, we've just decided to use it for this one anyways. Now we're yellow flag, and that's Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari out of the race. Meanwhile, we're looking at liveries. So that's sad for him. 1 DNF for Ferrari. As we came from, we have the Red Bull, who's got a very, very mean livery. We also have the Sauber, who's got an all red instead of like a white and red. Also looks very, very awesome in my opinion, at least. It has white stripe here and there, the Alfa Romeo logo on the back as well. And then you have the Williams, the car we drove for the end of last season, has also got a new livery. Martini is out. We have a blue and white livery only, so no red and stuff. The blue's kind of a bit more shiny and all that jazz. And that's the 3 new liveries seen out on track now. They're very nice. I personally think they're very nice. We'll also have a couple of new ones for the next season. Then we'll kind of change all of them out like that, like very, very nicely and slowly. Of course, we'll also have driver change, but I'm sorry I couldn't get the HUD menu. Making a mistake into the second final corner, allowing Ricciardo and the Red Bull, shit. Like Ricciardo and the Renault to get up alongside us. He's behind us at the moment. Virtual safety car out on track. We have an onboard from one of the Williams cars. If you look out onto the side at the pit wall, there's it looks like our own teammate Lewis Hamilton is blown up, and that means he is out of the race. Very, very sad. So that's 1 DNF for one of the Mercedes. So there was a virtual safety car, and I decided, because there was about to be AOR, so I decided it was a good time to do a mid-session save. And I messed it up. I messed it up. You'll have to understand what I did yourself, because I didn't understand it either. So I was trying to still see if I could get back onto the road, while still being in front of Ricciardo, to see if I could not ruin the race because of that. So I did a couple of flashbacks to see if I could do it, but we get a legal overtake on him, so we'll let him go. Magnussen slips fucking through as well. Unless we try to overtake him back. That wasn't supposed to happen. We get a legal overtake as well. Are you freaking kidding me? So 2 positions gone like that. We'll have to get Magnussen back the positions. And 2 positions gone on a virtual safety car because I did a mid-session save and took a break because I had to do AOR, which, as you saw yesterday, went very, very, very well. Anyways, it's green flag, lap number 5 out of 29. We're settling into the race. Pitt is in a couple of laps time. You see, we're getting really close to the butt of Kevin Magnussen. Through the first sector we've gone. We go for the dive down these. I didn't know that was a dive corner. I wasn't supposed to go for the dive, but he broke extremely early in comparison to me, so I just tried to avoid him and eventually made a dive out of it. Tires are beginning to get a lot worn, so we're just trying to keep them up for a couple of more laps. I think to about lap 10 we're trying to keep them on, and then we're going into the pits for our first stop of the day. We're on the ultra soft tires, so we're keeping behind Magnussen 4 now. We're settling into the race, trying to keep up with time. We're trying to not kill them too much. And you see there, we touched the outside of the grass to get onto the curb, and we're out of the race. We crashed into the barrier. Another guy hit us as well. We're airborne as well, so that's a humongous crash. And that's a sad way to end the first race of the season here at Australia. If you look very, very closely on board from this one especially, you can kind of see that we hit the outside of the grass, just carry the race momentum through all the way through the corner, get onto the curb, which makes it even worse, and lose it, and that's a retirement for us. And the first race of the season with Mercedes, here there you can see it even better. We hit the grass on the way in, and then it just got even worse. We took out, was that Roman Grosjean we took out as well? So it's a double DNF for Mercedes this race. Desperate stuff, desperate way to start out the season. Eventually was Pierre Gasly who won the race. That's a very, very big surprise. Here you have the official race results. You can see Max Verstappen came second, 1-2 for Red Bull pretty much. The other Ferrari retired, so very, very desperate stuff for us. Not the best way I can say. We just lost quite a bit of points right there for both Mercedes. That's almost like the Haas disaster. Just a bit less worse because it's a game. So, me and Lewis Hamilton down in 18th and 19th place. Very, very disappointing way to start out the season. Red Bull has max points. We still lead the rivalry against Lewis Hamilton, who has a much awesomer picture than us. God freaking damn it, mod. But we still lead at 4-2. Reputation absolutely goes towards hell now. We're still trying to get enough for the ultimate. So this is the upgrades that we have at the moment. One failed. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this first race of the season. Disappointing way to start it, but I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.